ahead. Start recording from now. So we really want to start now diving into how you guys are able to predict future patterns, future price movements in the market so that you're able to take advantage of. I know a lot of you guys have been commenting in the Telegram chat when you've been taking trades, when you've been hitting your percentage goals, and that is extremely, extremely exciting. So if any of you guys actually took a trade already today, drop a 1 in the chat box. I'm curious to know. If you've actually taken the time out of your day today to even open up the markets and just even stare at the charts for any time period, right? Drop a 2 in the chats. If you really kind of didn't do anything, free of judgment, guys, remember this is a judgment-free zone. You haven't really looked at your notes. You haven't hopped on a session today. You haven't really traded nor even looked at a chart. That's fine. Drop a 3. Okay. There's no shame here. It's all just to see where we are going with our habits and the consistencies that are needed, right, to become disciplined and profitable traders, which is the goal that we want overall. Awesome. So we've had quite a few people that have traded today. Amazing. I'm hoping all of you guys are in the blue today. No shame. Okay, we have 2 and 3. Perfect. Thank you so much, actually, Taiwo, because I know that takes a lot to drop a 3. That was me a lot of times, right? It was very hard for me oftentimes, especially if I had maybe a bad trading day, to really kind of get in the mood and the spirit to be able to even open up the charts and try this one more time, right? So the fact that you guys are here day in and day out, committed to learning and educating yourselves in the space, says a lot. So today, right, a big thing that kept coming up to me was like, okay, Carmen, well, it's easy to see these patterns, these movements, when you're looking at the history of any currency pair, right? And I'm going to be able to really kind of showcase how, as we've been seeing some examples previously, it is very simple to be able to, essentially, let me go ahead and stop sharing and actually set up my charts. It is a bit difficult to be able to, look at the charts and be able to see, okay, well, what is going to happen next? Is this really going to continue to move up? Is it going to continue to move down? How do I know? How do I know if I'm going to be able to get into the markets at the right time, or if it would be a bit too late for me, right? Because oftentimes people tell me, well, when do I know when to click buy, when to click sell, if it's already too late, the move already happened, or if I should just potentially wait for another potential trade idea. And as we've, essentially repeated over and over again, it is very crucial for us to essentially be very patient in these markets, right? It is very important to, understand that there's going to be times where we're going to miss, certain trading movements that we may have potentially been waiting for a while. And that's okay, right? We need to be able to understand that there's going to be those points at times. I'd rather you guys be patient and wait than force it and it not give you the outcome you desired. Okay. So especially with this trading day, right? If you haven't traded already, me personally, right, unless you're an experienced trader, you're not really risking a lot, you're sticking to very minimal risk, 1% or less, then, by all means, feel free to look at the markets tonight. However, I do over time notice, right, because I was that eager trader where no matter, even if it was a holiday, the market, some, current market currencies were closed because it was a particular holiday for that currency or that country, I would still trade. And while, yes, you can make money, right, you're really playing it based off of luck more than anything. Because really, for me at the very beginning, I was told by my mentor, do not trade on a holiday. Take it as a day, as a learning day. Take it as a day to, look back over your trading journal and actually see if your analysis has been hitting. If you guys have been trading on your own with your own analysis and they have been hitting, I'm curious to see, drop a 444 in the chat box, right? Because it's going to need repetition, repetition, repetition. Okay. And the beauty about this is that the market does nothing but repetition, right? Giving you multiple opportunities, right, over time to be able to then pick up the pace and kind of follow along and then ride the waves and become profitable in the sense, right? So one great key that I used to use, right, and still use to this day to be able to help me, right, really predict where the next phase, where the next directional movement is going to happen so that I could take advantage and get in before it's too late, is called the Elliott Wave pattern. So this is a very simple pattern, right? When I started, I was a little bit intimidated at first, just because I didn't know, kind of like, okay, well, how do I really draw it up? My biggest thing was that I overanalyzed everything and really was like, how can I essentially draw up my chart? So as you guys know, right, depending on which time frame you guys are trading is based off of the ones that you will be essentially charting up, right? I usually like to start up about the, on the day, move down to the 4 hour, 1 hour, and then down to the 15-minute. And trade off of the 15-minute or 5 minutes, depending on how nicely the market is moving. So when looking for this, right, we are essentially looking for a point in the market where we see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement before we have a shift. What does that look like? Well, essentially you'll have a movement here, a slight retracement before the next movement, slight retracement before the next movement. So then what happens at this point? Well, once you have your Elliott wave formation, right, this point here, right, you have to take in mind that you still have to include your other indicators, your other confirmations that we've gone through multiple times now, right? You're supporting your resistance, your volume bar, your stochastic, your RSI. Is price above your 50 EMA or below it, right? This all will help as additional confirmations for you to help you build that confidence so that when you go into a trade, you're not sitting there biting your fingernails or shaking your foot until the last second of that clear, right? So here, essentially, once price has now followed this pattern, right, it'll follow it on every market on any time. It doesn't stick to like one specific time frame that it works best. No, you can literally follow these patterns through any given time frame, right? And we're going to see if we could potentially see any ideas, right, examples in real time. Let's see here. Trying to look at my notes here, guys, really quickly. Perfect. So let's go ahead and see if I can potentially see any Elliott wave patterns. So when it comes to Elliott wave, guys, it all ties into one, again, your support and resistance, break and retest. And you're probably wondering, how does this all tie into trading? Well, within the Elliott wave, right, we can see multiple points, right? For example, right here, where we have price come up, right? Right, it'll have a retracement, right? A break and a retest. And remember what we've mentioned from last week's session, I believe it was last week's sessions, right? Because I was having internet connection issues, is that price will always have an impulsive move, right? Always have an impulsive move, retracement, impulsive move, retracement, impulsive move. So we're wondering, how many impulsive moves, right, does it take before we finally get a reversal, right? So I want to see here, okay, because I see quite a few. So I see quite a few little movements here, but I want to go ahead and switch over to the line. Okay, so bear with me, family, while I try and draw this out. Oh, way too far. Let me try it on the 15-minute. Let's see if it looks better. Okay. Remember, guys, my drawings are not the best, okay? Bear with me. Okay. So we can see right now that price is still kind of, I haven't put, you could have easily put it here, but since price is literally having this weird, literally where you can see that price is moving right on that blue line, which is our moving average that we draw it up, right, to make sure that we had an additional confirmation of whether price was consolidating, meaning moving sideways, whether price was in a downtrend, which looking at the market right now, guys, which direction is the market? Which direction of bias is it in? Is it in an uptrend or is it in a downtrend market right now? Can you guys let me know in the comments? Downtrend, downtrend, correct. So what potential ideas would you guys be looking here for you if you were looking for this to be a trade for USD JPY? Would you be looking for buy opportunities or would you be looking for sell opportunities here? Absolutely. So when looking at this, a key note that I mentioned, if you're using, right, the Elliott Wave, and if you're using the EMA, I like to call this my little cheat sheet, right? Because I started noticing some little things that were happening when my Elliott Wave would touch my EMA. Okay. Look closely here to point number 2 and point number 4, right? We can see that as price is drastically moving in a downtrend right here, right? You're probably wondering, well, okay, how do I know if this is going to continue to drop and I can continue to catch this wave down? Or will it retrace and give me an opportunity to get back in? So remember, never get in at the impulsive move, right? Never get in if it's red candle, you're just, oh, I'm going to hit red and sell now, right? No. Wait for an impulsive move. Even though it is tempting to not get in as you're seeing this humongous red candle. Okay. I know the temptation is there. I promise you, I've fallen into it way too many times in the past. Okay. So what do we wait for? We wait for the retracement. And where will price normally retrace back to? The moving average. So here you can see by using the Elliott Wave, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can see how price moves up, right? And touches essentially gets so close to our moving average. I see a blue candle. I see price now close to, right, that moving average. I'm not going to get in yet. I'm going to wait for the close, right? Then get in at this next candle. And then what happens? You're in for a what? Remember that 3 candle rule that we mentioned? 1, 2, 3. We're deep in profits. Hey, this still is downtrending. You potentially want to get in for a second trade idea? Absolutely. Just be patient. It will pay. The market then it did its thing, right? Really didn't move so much, but it came back to the EMA. If you would have waited for additional confirmations, right? Like if you would have done additional ones, like I know educators are now moving into the Fibonacci's, right? And using that as yet another tool, another resource, right? To let you know, well, how far can this go, right? Where it will retest, where it will have price move, right? And depending, right, on every level of that Fibonacci, right? It indicates something different for that market. It lets you know essentially the strength of where the market will move. Will it be a minor movement? Will it be something that's a minor retracement? Or will this have some impulsive move where it'll completely shift the market into the other direction, right? So Fibonacci's are a great resource to use and definitely look out for from incorporations of other educators, right? Which we will also be talking about very, very soon. So as we can see here, I would have essentially profited very well from 2 trade ideas here by using, literally following, right, the EMA downtrend, right? I could have incorporated some support and resistance right here, right? I can see that price came, right, retouched on my Elliott Wave, gave me that indication, but guess what? Price also broke through and retouched right here. at that retouch, that's another potential sell idea that you would have profited in, right? Just by waiting. This is about 15 minutes per candle. So if you would have given yourself about an hour or two where you could have literally set up alerts. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but you can actually set up alerts right here on TradingView for free, letting you know, okay, when's price, if you say, hey, you know what, if price comes back and touches or crosses up on 139,964, right? And you can literally put 139,964. You could put crossing up, okay, only once. And you could get notified on the app, you send an email, you could be having this open on your computer, right? And then essentially right then and there, just create the alert, right? And when price ever comes back and is crossing up there, touches that price point area, you get an alert. So then guess what you do? You open up your computer, you open up your phone, you're already ready with the analysis in hand. You've just not been patient enough to allow market to do its thing without you stressing your eyes out, staring at the screen, just praying that it'll move in the time frame that you have free to trade. Okay, that's one tip and trick that really shifted everything when it came to trading for me, because now I was not ever forcing into the markets. I was allowing the markets to come to me while being able to have it free at my disposal, even in my cell phone. Okay, so I'm hoping that definitely is something that helps shift it for you guys, because you guys can do your analysis in your free time, right? But then take advantage of trading when price is actually ready to be traded. So from here, a lot of people have then started asking, well, Carmen, how do I know if it's going to continue in primary direction, if it's in retracement or in continuation, right? Because we're going to see so many movements happen within this market space, right? That you're probably wondering, well, okay, you mentioned Fibonacci's, right? You mentioned the Elliott Wave. You mentioned the EMA. There's so many indicators, Carmen. I don't know where to start. Start with one, start with two. Start finding what works for you, what works best for your eye, because some things might be more intimidating for others. For example, you may see a lot of the other educators use Bollinger Bands. It's one of a very common used indicator that was used in a lot of the strategies that we were taught earlier on in our trading journeys, right? For me, the Bollinger Band is very intimidating to the eye because it's a lot of lines, a lot of shadowing, and it's just a lot to the eye at first, right? So for me, essentially, right, I started off very simple, right? Before even introducing you guys to Fibonacci's, because that's a whole other thing, okay? I want to introduce you to the parabolic dots, right? Another hidden gem that I used, right, when it came to trading that you'll see a lot of educators using, and it's not really spoken a lot on, right? But parabolic. Hold on, let me see if I can just remove my EMA. Perfect. So it's called the parabolic SAR. You can find it under your indicators and add on your trading views. So this is another indicator for you guys that you can use when it comes to trading to help you know if price is going to continue in your direction, okay? Whether the price is consolidating, whether the price is in retracement or in continuation, parabolics, this is a tongue twister for me. Parabolic SAR, right, will essentially notify, for me, at least a little bit more appealing to the eye, right? They're these little blue dots that you guys can see right above or below the candlesticks, okay? So essentially, just to break it down as simple as possible, is that these parabolic SAR dots, right, are indications of letting you know essentially kind of another direction of the trend. Where is price really headed? So you can see that for a small moment, right, you can see how these parabolic dots actually came towards the bottom, right, of the candlesticks. So similarly, right, to how the EMA works, where price is below, right, the EMA, it's in a downtrend. Similar to the parabolic SARs, right? If price is below the dot, price is still currently moving in a downtrend or downtrend in that case when they're under. When price is above, when the candlesticks are above, right, the parabolic dots, that means price is currently moving in an uptrend. It does not matter if you have red candlesticks above, is it still considered a downtrend? No. Even though you might see, perfect example right here, a small minor movement, right, on the upside right here. It's not to say that it's impossible to happen, because it can happen. And you will have these moments of movement, even though price is in a downtrend, you will have these movements of retracement, right? Of upward movement where you could potentially even take a buy opportunity if you had the right confirmations, which in this case we did, right? So you could have easily profited, right? Because you know price is going to come back to retest right before the continuation, which is exactly what it did here. And we saw that through our Elliott wave. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? How it all really ties in together? It's already a lot of information, a lot of terms that you will hear on these sessions that I really want to break down to you, just to really simplify it in a way where you guys can see that it's all really tied in together. It's all really giving you that additional reassurance and peace of mind when hitting buy or when hitting sell. Okay, so it's just all preference to you, right? We can currently see that perfect example in real time right now. What has happened? We can see that the parabolic dot SAR, can you guys see that? Drop a 111 in the chat if you can see how this parabolic dot shifted from being on top of the candlestick to being now below it. Can you guys see that? Drop, let me know in the chats, okay? But if I can look directly below this, can you guys also see, right, how we have additional confirmations letting us know right before it actually happens? Do you guys see that? Let me go ahead and actually line it up for you. Because if you guys remember, what are the three basic ones I've always mentioned? You have your volume bar, if you have your stochastic, and if you have your RSI, those are some of the most basic beginning instruments as indicators that you can use just to even give you a head start, like, all right, we can essentially start looking into for a possible buy, okay? So here we can see that we look for what? The break and the re-break on both stochastic and RSI, break and re-break on both stochastic and RSI, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and line up here. Essentially, I would have a blue volume bar here, but since I have my parabolic dots, I can only have limited indicators, so bear with me, right? So I know that there's now a potential buy idea, right? I just have to wait for the right time, right? So now that I've incorporated this parabolic dot, this SAR, right? I know that as soon as I see that when that next candle opens, remember, break, you wait for the break and close of that candle to go in at the next one, okay? You never want to go in when you have 30 seconds left, 45 seconds left, 5 minutes left on a candle that's like for 15 minutes, right? You never want to go when you have little time left. More time is always a better thing. So what happens here? I would have gone in essentially at a buy right here. If you were a bit more patient and waited for a smaller little retracement, a small little pullback, right? Which essentially is what this wick did. It pulled back slightly to a little bit more than halfway of the previous candle. I personally love trading pullbacks, right? But for training purposes, at the opening of that next candle, right? You wait for the close and the opening of the next candle. Remember, you always wait for the break and close, okay? Never at the impulse. So I'm waiting now for a 3 candle rule. So I go in right here, essentially, I'm gonna move my white line right here where essentially I would have gone into this price, right? I can see my parabolic dots are still below, right? I already am on this next candle, and price is still above currently my entry point, meaning that I am currently in profits, okay? So let me see, 2 times to see. Okay. Are you guys able to hear me? Just want to make sure you guys are able to hear my audio good. If you are, let me know in the comments. Yes, okay, awesome. So as you guys can see now, this is where price is now currently moving up, right? For many different people, right? Depending on, right, the time frame. If I go down to the time frame, right, on a 5-minute time frame, we can see that now, even in this 3-candle rule, right, we can see 1, 2, 3, right? It has respected and has kept you in profit. Now, someone says, well, is it too late for me to get into this trade idea? In my idea, yeah, you are, because technically speaking, on a 5-minute time frame, it's already a 3-candle rule. If you're looking at a 15-minute time frame, you're already essentially about almost halfway through your second candle, right? So for me personally, I'm going to zoom out to the market, right? And I want to see essentially where price has been to give me an idea if it would really continue to move forward or if I should do what now. I'm seeing this candle. Sheesh. Wow, that is a gorgeous candle. Gorgeous, gorgeous candle. But would I jump into this myself back in 2019? Probably, out of excitement. I'd just be like, blue, buy, right? But it's happened where I've accidentally hit sell. And I don't want those mistakes to happen for you. So I'm looking at this and I'm seeing what is happening here. Well, I'm seeing that price is kind of moving in a what pattern, guys? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What happens at 5? After the Elliott wave, when we hit number 5, or if you like to do it A, B, C, D, E, it just depends your preference, right? I just like to do the numbers. Once we hit our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the Elliott wave, price reverses. And what happened here? Price reversed, right? And this was literally, this is not that, oh, I'm looking back at, yes, I looked at history, enough history, right? In its present time. I'm not looking at what happened at 8 a.m. in the morning, at like 2 in the morning. No, I'm looking at what just happened previously. What pattern am I literally exiting out of so that I can catch the next wave, right? So I'm seeing that this is now coming up, but I know due to the Elliott wave, it might come down. So guess what? If you miss this first buy, you can now, right now, calling out a potential future buy idea for USD JPY, whether you want to do follow the 3-candle rule and set up for 15 minutes, right? If price were to come down again, right, to the 138,720 zone, right? That would be another potential buy idea. Why? Because now you've allowed to move from price 1 to 2. And remember, every time we looked at the previous example between 2 to 4, it was points of retracement. It was points where you can get into a second opportunity to trade, because then what happens? It respects it. You have 3, you'll have 4, and then 5. So then what happens here? I don't know if you guys see this, but these white lines are already as if I drew out support and resistance, but it goes in correlation with my Elliott wave. Okay, so this is all to help you set you up for what's to come. I just looked at what just happened to then set me up for a trade right now, to already seeing the prediction of the market. Now, what Carmen's going to do, I already set my alerts. Carmen's going to end her session. She's going to walk away. When my alerts come on, it's there. I hop in, I take the next buy idea, and I go about my day, right? I don't stress about it. Once you guys can see it in that way, trading will completely shift forever. So if you guys learned something today, got clarity in something, you know, got a good refresher, drop a 111 in the chat box, family. I know it was a lot, right? I know it is on every sessions, and I bear your patience on a Wednesday night. I'm recovering also from a foot injury. So I am so grateful to be able to be here with you guys tonight. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, okay? And I do not want to take away from family time. Okay, family to me is something very sacred and something that I cherish and do not take away from anyone. So, because I am so happy and grateful for you all, right? Tomorrow's session will be postponed for Friday. Okay, I will be moving it for Friday, but there might be a slight time change. I might do it an hour or two earlier, just to respect, because it is going into the weekend, and the markets are closed, right? So I definitely want to be able to kind of recap what you guys may have gone through in the markets, any trades that may have not hit, or any questions that you guys may have, and have that be very open-ended. Okay. So with that being said, family, to get the Elliott Wave right quickly before the session ends, let me share it one more time. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the sixth icon to the left on Telegram. You'll be able to scroll down and you can either do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern or the ABCDE pattern. It's up to you. And family, before we go, right, I did want to quickly share with you guys, a lot of you guys have been asking me, about, how you guys are able to really learn, get more information, really be able to take advantage of, really the trading aspect, the information we have, and all that there is to offer from all these educators, right? There is a course that you guys have for free. It literally is 3 days for free. I was a bit about it at first until I actually got access to it and I saw the value that was within, right? To really be able to showcase to you guys. Hold on, let me be able to see. Showcase this program, right, guys? This is a program that's valued at over $2 million. $2 million, and you guys have this for free for 3 days to try out. If I were you and you have no plans for tomorrow or tonight, hop on this, take advantage of this. I will be dropping the link in the Telegram, right? You have access to over 1,200 training basic videos, family, where you guys can pause, replay, and take notes if you're like me. And like I said, it's a 3-day free trial. If you fall in love with it, like I did myself, right, you only have to pay a one-time fee of $250, right? And literally you can take off and launch in this affiliate program. There's so much to do in the digital entrepreneurship space, family. I promise you, when I tell you that this is information you have for $250, I've seen universities like UCI in Riverside and Irvine who are sending me emails and blasts about joining their digital entrepreneurship career. And I'm like, no, I already have it for free at my disposal for $250. I'm not going to go pay 40 grand for a degree when I have it here now. So family, take advantage. If you're not already a part of our community, a part of our Telegram family, make sure to join. I will be dropping the link in the actual MOB. Oh, what happened? It froze in the actual MLB Facebook group. So stay tuned for that, family. Other than that, family, God bless. I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing Thanksgiving. Take care. Make sure to share gratitude, because where you share more gratitude, more is returned in abundance. So take care, family. I'll see you guys all on Friday. Take care. And thank you all for joining me today.